it all stems from. Like, did you ever, just because you've been around it so much, do you have any? You must have the wisdom of like a psychiatrist at this point after seeing all of that. What do you think it roots down to?
It's definitely men that have high power positions. They like to be dominated, or men that just want to dominate a woman. It's just, I think it starts probably not so extremely, but it just is going to come into the, it's going to grow into the extreme. So now you maybe start with a little bit, a little bit of pain or a little bit of needle, and then you start going all the way hard because you need more and more and more. I have never heard of someone that started from, like, never has done it and then just went all the way. That doesn't happen. But, there's older guys, there are guys in different positions, and to be honest, here in the club, there is guys between 20 and 60 that come to the club and do their crazy stuff. So there's not even an age there or nationality or skin color. There's everyone is into it. Yeah?
What's the address over there?
The address?
To your spot.
Oh, Zentralstraße 64, 8003 Zurich.
Bing.
Oh, he's taking notes right now. He's writing that down.
Jewish neighborhood.
Okay, cool. See you soon.
So
it's even interesting if someone says, I just want to try a little bit, like, tie up a girl a little bit, smack her a little bit around, have another one come in and smack her maybe a little bit around, but nothing too crazy. So it starts there, but each his own. So I can't really say where it started, but I think porn is it makes people maybe want to try stuff.
I mean, we have access to it at such a young age now too. I can only see it getting crazier and crazier as time goes on. Everybody has a cell phone. I see 5-year-olds running around with an iPhone. God knows what they're looking at. They're going to go right past those parental controls eventually. That being said, is there a limit? Do you have these guys sign some sort of a waiver or anything like that? What if something does go wrong?
Well, all the ladies that are dominas here and do anything with needles or electroshockers, they have to have a license for it. And it's basically like a nursing license. So you need to know exactly what you're doing, that you really can't hurt the person. But it can always happen. Now, if someone comes in and has a very extreme request, yes, they have to sign a waiver. Because things could go wrong. And, just like if you go to the doctor, or get operated,
Yep. I mean, yeah, exactly. No matter what procedure you're doing. And the type of training that these girls have, it must be extensive training if they're able to hammer needles into people's buttholes. And, you said, where do you go to school for something like that?
Ask again the question, please.
Like, what type of a schooling or training do you need to learn that?
Well, the most girls, they start somewhere, and there's really domina schools where you can learn that, and then you're going to go in with another domina and start to learn. And the thing is, really, you have to be a great actress, because you have to think of these fantasies for them, unless they bring in a script for you to learn, and then you have to go with that, because the fantasy is so extreme, and they want to exactly relive that. The woman really has to know what she's doing. And that's why these services are still purchased and it costs a little bit more than everything else, because you can't just have anyone doing it.
I mean, yeah, it takes talent. Like you said, not only the acting, but the precision. Definitely.
You have to be in that mode. You can't laugh around or not be serious. You got to be very serious and play your position. Even if you're a slave or a submissive girl, you can't just laugh or say, no, you can't stop now or whatever. You can't do all that, because you will mess up the whole fantasy. But there's the code word for everyone, and if you say that, it has to stop.
What's the code word usually?
Well, they make they figure that out before the session. They're gonna have a code word that's not stop, because that's usually something that they anyway gonna say or wanna hear. So pineapples, let's use that.
Pineapple. Oh, that's some relevance too to our show here. You wouldn't believe that. Wow. So. All right, so now here's another question I was wondering too. You say $10,000 for one of these dudes. They'll pay $10,000. How much money does a girl make in a year doing a job like this? Not being a madam, but being an actual worker.
Well, the thing is this, with the most agencies, if you have a madam or agencies, 50-50. And then depends how much you work and what are you willing to do. I had one girl, she came over from Russia. She made 90 grand in a month. She was working day and night, though. She was really just there for that. Then there was other women, they make less because they want to work less. Now, if you're going for cheaper rates, you got to work more for less money, so you're going to make less money. So I can't really say that. Each is different. Everyone is different. And it depends what you're offering, you know. If you have extras, you can, because for me, I never take anything from the extras. The extras goes in your pocket. You can charge that and you can take that money.
Wow. 90 grand in a month, though.
But that girl, she was day and night running around. Like, she was definitely...
I can imagine the quality work she's doing for 90 grand a month.
Oh, she was great, though. She was a very pretty girl. She just came to the States to really make money for that month, and she would know how to get it, you know.
What is the most outrageous request that you've ever had? Has there ever been something so crazy that you can't even do it?
Well, one guy once, he wanted a mouse up his butthole.
Damn,
and I wasn't for that. The poor mouse, you know, imagine that. But as well, if she's going up there, the mouse, what can happen to the person, you know? So I just told him, well, how about you just take worms or gummy bears or something like that? So he settled for that.
He settled for real life worms, or he settled for gummy worms?
Yeah, for worms, you know, because the girl has to do it, not me. But I looked for the, you know, I brought the worms. Well, you know, because this is a really good client. So he comes in and he spends always
Really
like
good
15 grand when he comes in.
I mean, yeah, that's it's a pretty penny for those worms. That's definitely worth it, I'd say. That's a
Right.
crazy profit margin there.
But the worms can't hurt him on the inside of his butthole. That was more that, you know, because if someone is a little bit, you know, in a different world, in that moment, they have imaginations that just, you know, they can really, really have to call the ambulance. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the mouse is like a whole nother level. Just it's not like that's really too outrageous when I think about it, though, because I've heard of that before. I've seen that episode of South Park with Lemmy Winks, the gerbil. It seems like people have been doing that for a while. I wonder if you saw the same episode of South Park I did. But yeah, wow. So mouses in the butt.
A worm in your ass.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then some people, they and actually that's like a request that's pretty normal, is they want to be a human toilet.
They want to be a human toilet, you say?
Yeah, they have this little toilet seat, right? And they want every girl to just walk in and do whatever on his face. Whatever they got to do.
Damn.
And I think the girls, they are so great. Like, they know exactly what they have to eat when they can go, and that the consistency is good, you know, of feces and whatever.
That's true. You gotta be careful what you eat. You don't want to eat the Popeyes chicken sandwich and then go into the S&M bar. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, I can't deal with the smell and everything. Even like vomit, you know, the guy will eat vomit. But there's, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, they just into that. It's not really my thing.
We got to set up this interview. Who is this guy?
Well, the thing is a lot of them. And people think, oh, that's probably the old guy with a lot of money. No, there is like 25, 30-year-old guys. They're construction workers. They come for lunch break to eat feces.
Damn,
wow.
That's the daily thing. And they pay money for it, like really good money.
Unbelievable. And like construction workers, like you said, these bills are like $10,000, $15,000. I'm sure that some of these guys have money, but like you said, it's not all rich guys. Imagine just working for that paycheck and spending the entire thing to get thrown up on. It's just wild.
Let's say you wanna just have a 30-minute session with just feces. It's not that expensive like the guy for 15 grand, because the 15 grand guy, he's gonna close the club. He wants every single girl to do certain things, and that's like, you know, 5-6 hours. So it's a difference.
That makes sense. Okay, so like for just a normal, like one girl to just excrete on you, how much does that normally cost?
Well, the half an hour was $250, and then the extra is between $200 and $250.
Now, are you guys hiring right now? Because honestly, times are tough right now.
Well, you know, they're always looking for good girls. Everyone looks always for good girls. If I have now a girl that wants to work, I'll figure it out, you know, if she's good. Or I can, you know, if she doesn't fit in with me, I'll send her to some of my friends, you know, because we all know each other here pretty much.
Crazy stuff. This isn't even getting into your story. This is just what you're doing right now, which is the amazing part. Your story in itself is out of control. And real quick, while we're in the middle of this conversation, to anyone that just tuned in, where can they find the documentary? I know that I just saw it on YouTube, but let's plug. I know you have the book that's out. Let's just give a quick plug for where they can actually find your story before we go further into this interview.
Absolutely, thank you. So on my Instagram is the link in my bio for the documentary. On YouTube, you can find me under the International Madam with the E in the end.
And I hate to interrupt you, but real quick, you said your Instagram. That's pretty much the most important one these days. What exactly is your ad name? It's at INTL Madame. So if you're not following, follow Nevis now because she's a good follow. And plus, you're pretty cute yourself. I gotta say,
Thank you.
But that being said, she's great. She's funny. She's beautiful. Follow her now and see exactly where you can find her. And her book is actually available in Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes and Noble. So that's official.
Yes, definitely. Under the International Madam, you can find me there. And definitely check out the documentary, subscribe, and like, and enjoy the documentary. And I'm always open for questions. You can just write me, DM me, whatever.
Now, that's another question. Do you get any strange DMs? I know that you know.
I have some friends, they're porn stars or whatever, and every time they will post something or I'm tagged in, I have the funniest people just asking me, hey, can you send me a picture of your feet? Like, I'll send you a PayPal for $50. I'm like, 60, I can do it.
Wow,
I'll send you a
bad.
picture of my feet. Because it's funny to me, they want a picture of the foot or they want to be my slave or something. But, I just, I've referred them to somebody else that I can make some money off.
So you don't have no slaves of your own then?
No, because the thing is, I'm just better in managing. I'm not a domina. I'm not in this business in that sense. Of course, I have seen it, and I have done that first help course, in case something happens. But I'm just better in managing. I let the girls work, and it's very important as a madam that you don't ever do that job because nobody would respect you. It's not the same anymore. The clients now, and the girls either.
Makes sense.
It's either or.
I found that also pretty amazing, too, that this whole time you had never, and to clear this up for everybody out there listening, you've never done any type of sex work either.
No. I was a stripper for like 3 months, but I'm not really good at it. I'm just good in talking and taking money for that.
That's what's
That doesn't count then. See, that doesn't count.
Trying to dance and get you like, and make you spend money like that. I want you to go to the back room and give me all your money while I talk your ear to death. That was my mind thing. So I had a short career in that, but it was just a jump start to make some money in New York. And then with that money, I started the business.
And that being said, we're kind of going a new type of hip hop has been created in the past, I guess, like 2 years. Something that I like to refer to as stripper rap, and it started with Cardi B. Cardi B has all of these girls that were strippers now performing, and there's like 4 or 5 of them that you actually hear played regularly on Hot 97 and on the radio. Are you a fan of Cardi B? Do you ever listen to any of that music?
I do listen to it, and I think I like her. I respect her. She came very far from where she came from. So, but it's not like that I would go out and listen all day to all these things. I listen to more like older hip-hop music, like in the early 2000s, the Dr. Dre's, the 50 Cents, that kind of stuff. But I don't have nothing against the new music. I'm just not a fan of like Lil Baby or I can't really relate to that. You know what they're talking about.
I don't know. I know that I don't either. I don't know. I don't think many of our fans do
I
either.
love her style.
Yeah, she says.
I don't have an issue with it. Everyone, whatever floats your boat, it's just not really for me because the text has to be right, and I like Nas and stuff like that. So it's it's not really my thing. But as long as they make their money, like that's good for everyone.
But that being said, you mentioned in the documentary that it was an old school rapper that brought you to America. You started dating an old school rapper.
Right.
I don't know if you want to name drop, but who was the rapper?
It was Master G from the Sugar Hill Gang.
Master G. The original.
Yeah. Yes, the original. And I know he's much older than me, but you know what? We really clicked, and it was a real relationship for many years. But in the end, I was too young, and he was too old. But for that time being, it was great. So I actually came to the States first to visit him once or twice, and then I moved there. But I moved on my own. I didn't want to live with someone or depend on nobody. I did it on my own. It was very important to me.
And I see that you, not only were you doing this, but you were investing in other businesses at the same time, like truly a business mind. So you said your end game, you mentioned earlier, was music and A&R.
Right.
Is that still something that you're interested in?
I have to say no. When I was over there, I wanted to first be an actress. I did acting school. So I saw a little bit the Hollywood scene, not my thing. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm better at managing things. Like I can organize something. So I did events as well. And I did an internship at Sony. And that kind of really showed me what to do. I did some after parties, concerts that I booked over here in Europe from over there. And to be honest, I don't really want to be on the road either. I don't want to be on the road and organize everything because it's kind of crazy, especially as a female. But I did like to manage